What was that? What was this, dude? What was this? Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Sixers Postgame. I'm here with my guy Sean Bernard. Sixers got their behind whooped, 106 to 79. Sean, you want to take it from here first? I'm speechless right now.
Yeah, not a lot of good. We did get the return of Tyrese Maxey, 17 points in 28 minutes there. I did think he provided a little bit of spark, and that's about where the good ends. I'll give Kelly Oubre a little shout out as well. 19 points. I thought he looked like the best Sixer on the floor. Paul Reed make a little bit of impact, and yeah, that's where the good ends for sure. That Tobias Harris, man, to cut out any fluff here is. I hope this is finally the low point of Tobias Harris because I've thought we've hit it like 3 or 4 times this season. But 2 points, 3 rebounds in 26 minutes, straight up embarrassing. He was even worse on defense than those numbers would indicate. He frankly just looks like he doesn't care. So the halftime graphic by TNT read where is Tobias Harris, and
Mhm.
he was nowhere to be found.
We've been saying this all year long. Do you think this is finally the time that Nick Nurse is going to bench him?
I felt like it should have been. I think he should have done it in the second half tonight just to do it. Seriously, that was the worst half of basketball I've seen from him, and that's a low bar that he just cleared. We've seen plenty of bad basketball from Tobias Harris, and for that to be the peak, which I very clearly think it was, to me it should have been. Like, what's I get the money, but what is like why does this guy deserve that many minutes on a night by night basis? It's insane that like you keep trying the same thing. This guy still played 26 minutes tonight, even with him being pulled for most of that second half. That was still the third most or fourth most on the Sixers tonight with Paul Reed playing a little more. It's just embarrassing. It's straight up embarrassing. It's so disappointing. And frankly, it's harmful for the team. It's rewarding the wrong things.
For me, this is all I say. Like everybody keep on saying, why are we mad at Tobias Harris? Why are we mad? This is why. We've been seeing it all season long. And now they're finally catching on. Even the commentators are catching on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where is this going to end? It's crazy to me. And the fact we scored more last game. Actually, wait. Did we score more this game?
I think exact same. I think it was 79-79, wasn't it?
Oh my God! Wow, that's actually telling. That is telling. But yeah, we got people in the chat here. Embarrassing loss since Daniel. Yeah, more than embarrassing. I'd say it's more like pathetic times two. Cam and Tobias have to be better out there. They are offering nothing. Cam can at least shoot and bring something to the table. Tobias Harris is shooting less than 30% in like since the All-Star break.
Campaign,
Tobias
by the way, still had 7 points, which is more than triple what Tobias Harris had tonight. Like at least with Cam, like I saw more effort from Campaign than I saw from Tobias Harris tonight, which is very telling. Not something that I'm happy to be confidently saying, but that's just how it is. And like this is the Tobias Harris story. That this isn't just the contract. This isn't just because he makes 40 million. If he was a minimum player, if he had Kelly Oubre's contract and they were straight up swapped, I still would be frustrated with Tobias. And this is beyond just a money thing. This is a straight up basketball thing. This is you're not good enough to help this team win. That you are a guy that like is contributing to the struggles for this team. That front and center is Tobias Harris to blame for all this.
Yeah, it's just him and I don't know. The rest are showing a little bit of effort, but hey, I'm just gonna say this right now. In Max's return game, everyone should have been better than this. For Max's first game back within a week, you
They
gotta
just
throw
don't.
that.
They just like it's hard because on one hand, like we know there's no Joel Embiid. We know that everything is different when Joel's on the floor. And frankly, if you want a case for why a guy is the most valuable player in the league, watching this stretch of Sixers basketball should prove it for Joel because they're night and day, just different. And that is a credit to how impactful he is as a player. But on the other hand, these have felt like such like gutless losses. Like tonight felt like from the opening tip that this team just didn't have it. And after like a really gritty win on Sunday I know like they're splitting 1-1 with the Knicks, which in a vacuum is a fine result. You should be satisfied with that. This Knicks team is legitimately good. They got OG Anunoby back, all these things. And it's like this team just feels like they're not bringing it. And that's the stuff that I think is straight up embarrassing from a Sixers perspective.
I just got nothing. I mean, I literally got nothing. Let's just go to the comments real quick. Yes, LOL. This is how you do it, Nick. No mercy, Nick. Easy work. Huh. Good win for you.
Yeah.
Good win for you.
Take the victory
What's
lap.
up? What's up, Nick? Halftime was not too happy, Mitch. Oh my God, he's gonna call me within an hour. He must go. Yeah, I don't think Tobias is going. I really think it's like the owners and Daryl Morey saying that you can't bench him. I've been saying that for like 2 or 3 weeks now. That it
And
has
the
to be the owners.
And the other side of it is realistically, who do you bench him for? Like, is it you throw Nico Batum in the starting lineup? Like, does that help? And like the grand scheme, the end goal is still for this team to have a successful playoff run. So with that happening, the best case scenario is you get Tobias at least playing competent basketball. That's the end goal. So they're weighing the results of how much does this mess with this guy's head versus how much does this give him a kick in the butt to keep going. Tobias, I'm sure they have a cleaner perspective of how he's built mentally for that type of thing. But from the outside looking in, I would guess he might be the type of guy that crumbles after he's benches, that he looks like a nice crumble cookie falling apart if he falls to the bench. And if that's the case, like that's what Nick Nurse's fear is, that he sends him to the bench right now and he loses him for the year for what he actually brings to his team. Not that they're getting anything anyway right now, but I think like the hope is you just ride with him and eventually he finds form again. Because even with all like the digging on Tobias that I've had done, all the complaining that we've all done, there's definitely been stretches where he's at least been a passable basketball player. So you're hoping that he can get back to that rather than what we're currently getting.
Yeah. I'm saving their number because I'm making a video calling them tomorrow. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, Tobias was just nothing there, Marshawn. Nothing there. OG, that's the biggest factor. OG back, he was on Tobias for most of the time. So for me, I'm like, OG is a really good perimeter defender, but this is no excuse still. This is still no excuse. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
OG helps him. He's a very good player, and he fits the Knicks. Like the upgrade from Precious Achua to OG is significant. You can see the difference there just from the way this team's constructed. The Knicks are a good team. Like I get like this loss sucked, but more so from the way the Sixers showed up. But just purely based on the results, like winning 2 in a row against the Knicks would have been quite impressive, especially considering how these Sixers are currently constructed.
yeah, yeah. Ricky Council would 100% give you more minutes than Tobias at the 4 position. I will, of course, 1000%. But there's one player that everyone's forgetting about: Robert Covington. When
Yeah.
Robert Covington comes back, I feel like they're gonna pull the trigger and bench Tobias. Not right away, of course, but I see when not Ricky Council, Robert Covington is back. That's where he's gonna make the call, make the move. It's now.
That's a good call. And Roko's been a guy that like I thought played very well when he first got to Philadelphia. Been very disappointing that he didn't seem like a Nick Nurse guy from the first standpoint. That didn't feel like Nurse was itching to give him minutes in the way that I think he deserved to. But at the same time, like when you think of his skill set, what this team needs, that it is guys with active hands on the perimeter, that he is a long, versatile wing. He's got better size, better athleticism. He's a better shooter, more willing shooter than Tobias. You're not going to get the pump fake that slide into post up into tough fadeaways from Robert Covington. He is a guy that's a gunner from 3. I absolutely think that's the right outlook. And it seems like Rocco should be back within the next 2 weeks. Hopefully that is the case. And that would make an impact on this team.
Especially since they announced today that Joel Embiid is not going to be playing to the last week of the season. So we need Covington now more than ever, actually. People are forgetting about that. I feel the vision isn't here. There is too much ISO basketball that doesn't work anymore. You agree with that?
I didn't think it was overly ISO. I think for the most part, like they missed shots tonight. I think that's when it comes down to. I think that they've moved in the right direction away from the ISO centric basketball. Like I know Mo Bamba, the GOAT, might not have been tuned in without Mo on the team last year, but like when you saw the James Harden and Joel Embiid kind of match up, that it's night and day versus what we're getting now. There's at least some sort of flow to the way this offense functions, the dribble handoffs, the ghost screens, the flare screens, the pin downs. There's things happening in a way that I do think applied to team concepts. But I mean, the bottom line is I think it's the horses, that there aren't the horses to run with for this offense overall.
Right, right. What is Tobias Harris thinking in his head right now? Where's Embiid? I need that pep talk again.
I can't
That's
believe I'm still on the Sixers.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I said this multiple times. I think he's going to Detroit this offseason because they offered us Burke and Bogdanovich,
Bogdanovich.
and then we turned it, and then Morey turns it down. So I think he's going to Pistons for a bag.
And Tobias is
It's,
tailor-made to be a fluff stats guy that can average 18 a game on a lottery team. That's what he's made to do. That's what his best case scenario as a basketball player. That's what he's done in plenty of situations before Philadelphia. He once again the highest paid player in NBA history to never make an All-Star game.
yeah, and especially with Detroit needing everything right now, they're gonna unload the bank and like just get some help. Cade is gonna hate it though. I feel so bad for Cade Cunningham, dude. I feel so bad.
Cade's the real deal too. Don't sell out on Cade. Like keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I love Cade. I love him, but I just feel bad. Let
Yeah.
Council play over to Tobias. Yeah. We thought Maxi could save us. Do we forget we're losing with Maxi too? Maxi came out guns blazing. He comes out with the smoke. He was on fire. He scored 10 points out of the team's 14. I mean, he's trying to do everything he can. Look at this team. He can't do it all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this falls on Maxi. And by the way, getting a quote pop in now. Shout out Sam DiGiovanni of Clutch Points. He asked Nick Nurse if he has considered bringing Tobias Harris off the bench, and his quote was, "Nope, not yet." So I do like that we've kind of shifted away from the no into the not yet category. I think that's progress from the Nick Nurse perspective there.
Send me that. I'll make a video on that tomorrow. Okay. I'll react to that. But Embiid or bust. We're in the play-in now. A lot of people were calling us to be a play-in team right now, and I've been saying no, we're going to keep it afloat. I was wrong. We're a play-in team. We're playing right now. It's basically, yeah. When do you say Tobias? Do you mean as a whole or just have him come off the bench? I'd say it's a whole.
I don't think they pull the trigger on that. I think it's more that they just reduce the minutes. It's more so about I don't think he's in the closing lineup, which it would be a big step here. Like for a night like tonight, genuinely what I would have done if I was in Nick Nurse's shoes, and again, I think he is playing this battle of I want him to get back to being the player that he was. But on a night like tonight, I would have just not played him the entire second half. And I think that would have been a message at least. But I do think I think it's unlikely they ever fully bench him. I do see a world where they reduce their minutes throughout the flow of the game.
Yeah. I fear the Knicks team, even with Embiid, they blew us out when we had Embiid. The Knicks are a good team. I don't get why everyone's dogging them. I just don't understand. They're getting they got the right pieces. They got the players. OG put them over the top. So I really like this Knicks team. I'm not mad. I'm just mad how the Sixers played. Mm-hmm. That's it. Knicks role players are just way better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shake Milton barely played. That's shocking. That's how deep they are.
Guys like Bogdanovich, Alec Burks, like those would be legitimate role players on the Sixers team, and they barely play for the Knicks. And like Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, like those guys are too good to even be thrown in the role player category. But what they are just masters at what their role is. Like they do exactly what the team needs. It all flows together, and the Knicks have done an impressive job. I do firmly believe they're the second best team in the East when fully healthy.
Yeah. I asked Mitch this, but should they bench Harris to make a statement, even if it means possibly losing a game? That's for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say yes. And it's not hurting their chance of winning a game seemingly of late. So I do think it's worth it. I think it's at least worth a shot. To me, it's what do you got to lose? Like you see what the guy currently is playing like, just give it a shot.
Yeah. Mo Bamba scores more than Tobias. Yeah, that's why Tobias is the worst player on the team. That is why. I wish we had Brunson instead of Maxi. Brunson more mature and more of a leader. Brunson's been in the league longer than Maxi.
Maxi's still 23.
And let it. I mean, with Brunson, he had championship experience with Villanova. He had players to learn from, all that stuff. So.
And he's 27. So think about compare it to for what Tyrese Maxey could be for 4 years from now. I get it. Like I'm with you that at this point in time, Jalen Brunson, the better overall basketball player and definitely the better leader. But this is pretty encouraging, everything we've seen from Tyrese Maxey so far. So don't count that out. That's a different story when he gets to that age.
Yeah. And Brunson leads his team. Yeah. Jimmy Butler come home. I'm streaming that game tomorrow. I'm going to be upset when I see Jimmy Butler score. I'm going to be upset. The Knicks were not going to lose this game even if Joel returned. The Knicks were embarrassed Sunday. Yes, they came here to prove a point. They came here to prove a point.
And you felt it like right away in this game. Jumped out to the 6-0 lead, that you felt the intensity that they were bringing. I think this is a great comment from Richie here, that there was clearly a focused effort from this Knicks team tonight, and deservedly so. That's how you should feel as professional athletes, that when you get your butt wiped on Sunday, you should want your get back the next day. And that's exactly what the Knicks did tonight.
Yeah. If we were on the opposite side of that, the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks, baby. Yep. They were just mad as F. Yep. That's right. Yeah. Yep. You know what? That's fair. I will calm down. Oh, yep. Scores around the league? Yeah, we'll go into scores around the league right after player of the game, even though it's going to be kind of tough with this one.
Tough one.
But our players for the game. All right, Sean, who's your player of the game? Giving you the layup here.
For me, it's Kelly Oubre. It has to be that. I'm all in on Kelly, man. The dunk on Hartenstein tonight was awesome. He ended with 19 points, had 6 boards. I thought he was active on defense again. 7 of 15 from the field, 3 from 6 from 3. Those are all very good. It's this continued just willingness and ability to attack the rim that I'm loving out of Kelly. That out of everyone on this roster, I think he probably brought it the most tonight, and that makes me happy to say that I'm all in on the Kelly Oubre experience. I'm officially crossed the path where I want him back in a Sixers uniform next year. He just brings it from a competitiveness level that I think this team needs, and I at least tonight he showed up.
Yeah. So for me, I'm not going with Maxey. I'm going to go with Paul Reed again. Two
Love
games
it.
in a row, I went with Paul Reed. 14 points and 8 boards. He's been the heart and soul of this team within this Knicks road trip. He's doing everything he can. His shooting is doing well, except for tonight. But it kind of amazes me that he's shooting 40% from 3 this season so far. I mean, that
Third
makes you
best on the
think.
Sixers. Yeah. Third best number percentage on the Sixers. Obviously a small sample size, but the jump shot has looked legit, and he still pulled a couple out of nothing tonight. Like that little step back as the shot clock expired. I think Paul Reed sometimes is at his best when it's just a broken play and he can do some weird stuff, and we saw that a little bit tonight. So yeah, we can take that as positive.
Yeah. Wait, did we score 79 in both games? Yes.
I believe so.
Apparently. Damn, Pacers are going to win versus OKC. Well, that sucks for us, but good for them. Player of the game. There you go, Richie. Your player of the game is Tobias Harris. OKC is lame. Yeah, I'm not going to do all that. So, what is your team grade? I feel like we're just going to dive right into it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'll throw an F on this one, straight up. That for me, this was much more about the effort than anything tonight. That like from a schematic standpoint, the way these teams matched up, like I didn't expect these Sixers to go in and get a win. I was hopeful that that would be the case. I talked myself into it, but realistically, going 1-on-1 versus the Knicks in a 2 consecutive game matchup, that's a fine result. But just the inability to be locked in, that there really wasn't ever a minute in which they were in these games, that like in this game tonight, to me is super frustrating. I do think it was an effort thing. I do think it was a locked in thing, and just a ton of mental mistakes tonight, highlighted by Tobias. But some of the defensive rotations were brutal, leaving open threes. Just poor execution, poor effort, and an overall failing grade for me.
Yep, I'm agreeing with you. A straight F ticket. It was basically Oubre, Maxey, and Paul Reed versus the Knicks.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. That was just the whole team. I feel like I was playing 2K and like how nothing was going in.
Yeah.
Did y'all see when Dante hit a 3 in front of the Sixers bench? Yeah, I saw that. Did you see that?
I missed that. I wish I did. I'm going to check up now. I would love if that becomes a feud. I'm all for Kelly. I'm all if Kelly wants to start being the beef guy and getting into it with guys. I'm with it. That I can get behind that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I feel Paul Reed played all right. I feel his interior defense wasn't there. Yeah, can see that. Philadelphia 76ers 70. Oh my God. Really? Really? Come on, man. But yeah, let's go into around the league real quick. So the Grizzlies are beating the Wizards 107-94. The Pacers are beating the Thunder. That's basically over 117-109. Rockets beating the Spurs 76-72 without Sengun. Celtics are beating the Jazz 72 at halftime to 57. Clippers are beating the Timberwolves 11-6. Kings are beating the Bucks 11-2. And yeah, that's it for your players' games. So how did Maxey have the worst plus minus?
Yeah, for a blowout game like this, tough to read too much into that. I guess because I mean, this is kind of one of those unfortunate breaks. When you look at the starters, him playing 28, Oubre with more with 30, but other than that, him the most. So the plus minus is a stat that gets diluted sometimes. I think tonight's one of those examples to where he just happened to be on the court during some of those Knicks runs that had, I think, less to do with his actual production.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't pay attention to the plus minus anyways. Like for that, I just trust my eyes for that.
Yeah.
I
Over a
barely
larger
know.
sample size, like, I think there is some value in it if you wanna look at, like, specific lineup combos over, like, the length of a season and things like that, but in a one-game setting, it gets a little too wonky.
Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. It looks like that's going to conclude the Sixers post game. So, Sean, thank you for hopping on, man. What is your plugs? Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, Mitch, appreciate you hopping on this with me, letting us rage a little bit. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Sean_Bernard1. Check out Sixers Digest and Pick Swap Media on YouTube, and you can also catch me on Fox Sports The Gambler. You can catch me on those airwaves as well as the Fox Sports The Gambler YouTube and a ton of stuff over there. But on Twitter at Sean_Bernard1, probably the best way to keep in touch with all these stuff I got going on.
Yeah. And as for me, guys, you can find me on Twitter at Mitch Chalksy, Hardcore Sports Network, at the Philly Sports Fly Like an Eagle podcast Thursday at 5. So, a lot of good stuff. And you're going to see me stream the Nuggets and the Heat tomorrow night. So, make sure you tune in for that. And with that, guys, being said, Sixers, we need some help. See you guys. Peace.